The C word is rearing its head again from Stephen Jones. Why he's talking about culture again. Let's talk about it here in Below the Belt, which is sponsored by D&M Leasing and Window Nation. Before we get into that, Daniel Jeremiah, old DJ, dropped his top 50 prospects this week. And
I have something before that.
Oh, hit me.
This is from Apostle of Anarchy on Twitter. He said, can Bobby Belt confirm this? This is from Matt Zenitz. The Cowboys are expected to hire Cardinals cornerbacks coach Ryan Smith. Sources tell CBS Sports helped Arizona allow the fewest passing touchdowns in the NFL the final 11 games last year before Arizona coached players like Caleb Farley at the college level.
Probably. He's going through the interview process, but this is a name we brought up last week because there's been a bunch of buzz that if Christian Parker came here, he would be part of his staff because he and Ryan Smith are really close. They've known each other for several years. They've done coaching clinics together, but they're close friends. And he's somebody who Ryan Smith was thought of as a good up-and-coming coach. And obviously with Jonathan Gannon out in Arizona and the changeovers that they're dealing with there with the Cardinals, then it was going to open up an opportunity for Ryan Smith to get another job. And so it makes a ton of sense that he would end up here if you're just looking for common coaching connections. Same reason why Marcus Dixon gets an interview. I would not be surprised if the Indiana safeties coach, Ole Adams, if he ends up here at some point. They've spent time together in Denver. They're very close. And so just like any other job, it's just like anything. Since we're bringing Mike back, we might as well bring his idioms back. It's just like anything, any job where you end up hiring people that you know and feel comfortable with, and you know that they're aligned with you, and that you know what you can expect of them. There's less for Christian Parker to tap into than other defensive coordinators, but yeah, when Matt Eberflus got hired here, he was like, how many of my guys can I stack on the staff? Zimmer, how many guys can I stack? We already see Adam Henry. You remember Adam Henry, the Cowboys receivers coach from years ago? Adam Henry just got hired as the receivers coach in Pittsburgh with Mike McCarthy. Why? Because Mike McCarthy knows him. And this is what happens. You end up just kind of building your staff with people that you're familiar with, and it's a smaller coaching tree, and it's a lot of younger coaches, but there's going to be a lot of coaches here who Christian Parker is very familiar with. So yeah, I have not heard that that's done. I would expect he will be here. I think that that's a pretty good bet because that was one of the first names I heard floated last week as a potential if Christian Parker ended up here. All right, so let's take a look at Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects. Earlier this week, I was a little disenchanted with DJ's mock draft because he gave them Colton Hood at number 12.
Oh, baby.
He gave them Keldrick Falk, the edge rusher from Auburn, at number 20.
Kevin's brother.
Yep, Kevin Falk's brother. That's exactly it. Marshall's son. Mm-hmm. And this is even more disconcerting after I see his top 50 players that he released. These are his top 50 players stacked in the draft in terms of just ability. Like if he was in an NFL draft room, this is how he's stacking them up. Number 1, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback from Indiana. He's got number 2,
LinkedIn.
The LinkedIn story. Do you want me to do that now or you want to do that during Red Zone?
How long do you think they were?
It's very quick. It's just a quick mention. So Fernando Mendoza has a new sponsorship deal with LinkedIn, and it's for all the best reasons. If I told you any draft prospect or any college player, period, regularly updates their LinkedIn profile, I think you would have to guess that would be Fernando Mendoza.
Yes.
And that's what he does.
Great.
So after he won the national title, he changes his LinkedIn bio to include in there that he's a national champion. After he announced that he was going to the NFL, he updated his LinkedIn profile picture with hashtag open to work.
This guy's amazing.
He is... So, and the thing is, he's genuine. It's not Russell Wilson.
Dude,
this is just who he is.
The interview he did as a 13-year-old is incredible.
I haven't seen it.
It's with him. It's like, so there was a student at his school that was like the student TV anchor, like a middle school kid. He was a middle school football player, towering over this other guy. And he sounds just like he does now. Same, kind of cadence, the same positive speech. This guy, I love this guy. I can't wait for him to get to the Raiders.
I hope he doesn't fail.
He had the B2B sales, business to business, because that was like part of
What
his
does that even mean? What other sales are there? They're all business to business.
I don't know. It's business to business, you know. Front Office Sports clipped his LinkedIn post he made after winning the national championship. And he said, here's what winning a national championship taught me about B2B sales. One, believe in yourself. 4 years ago, I was a 2-star recruit playing high school football 30 minutes from Hard Rock Stadium with a dream of playing at the highest level. 2 days ago, I became a national champion in that same stadium, surrounded by the family who never stopped believing in me. 2, take the risk. When it's 4th and 5 at the 12-yard line, go for it. 3, remember who got you there. Thank you to my teammates, coaches, support, staff, professors, and everyone behind the scenes who helped make this happen. So this dude is winning the national championship, and then he's sitting down at his laptop going, how do I make this about B2B sales for my LinkedIn profile? I gotta spruce up the resume, make it look good.
I am going to be watchdogging his girlfriend as if it's my own child. And she better treat him right, and I'm going to be looking her up and stalking her to make sure she's on the up and up. I'm going to be like Jaden Daniels' mom.
Have we seen her?
You don't hurt him.
I don't know that there is one.
Him.
He'll be with a brunette.
He's a sweet boy. Don't
Guaranteed.
hurt him.
If there was a underdog poly market bet, he'll be with a brunette.
All right, so the rest of the rankings here from Daniel Jeremiah, his number 1 player, Fernando Mendoza, also his number 1 B2B salesman. Number 2, Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. Number 3, Arvell Reese, Ohio State edge rusher. Number 4, David Bailey, Texas Tech edge rusher. And then rounding out the top 5, Sonny Styles, Ohio State linebacker. So when you go down the list here and get finally to Colton Hood, who he has the Cowboys taking at number 12, he has him ranked as his number 16 prospect. He said Hood has average size but excellent play speed and toughness. Impress. He's patient, staying on balance before using his hands to redirect at the line of scrimmage. He's fluid to turn, open up, and mirror underneath. That's all good. But again, if you're talking about a top 12 pick, I don't want to reach 4 picks ahead of where he's supposed to be. That tells me that there's better players on the board than what you went with. So you go down the list a little bit. Okay, what about...
Do you really nitpick over 4 spots?
Yes. When you're talking about
12 blue chippers at least.
Yeah, when you're talking about top 12, you're supposed to have a first-round graded talent. Your 16th player is not necessarily first-round graded.
This is where I think it's garbage. These guys don't know. Nobody knows.
Okay,
I hate that.
You literally can't say they don't know, though. Because if I told you to pick the players in the draft, you're not picking the at the same hit rate as these teams.
My hit rate would be 50%, just like their hit rate is 50%.
No, it wouldn't, because you wouldn't even know where to begin with who's the NFL caliber.
Well, that's the pussy. I would use their draft boards. I would just say, all right, fine, whatever. Okay, you're looking at...
But they did the work to develop
of course
the
they did.
draft board.
Great. They did all this work. If I did all this work and I still got a 50,
you don't think
I would stop putting in all the work.
You don't think that all the work that they do, it's ridiculously impressive, the lack of
success they have, yes.
Seventh round. No, the
amount of GMs that get fired
what do you tell me?
They don't know how to draft.
What do you always say about quarterbacks? When does the last time you draft a first-round quarterback? I don't think that if most people, even the average football fan, sat down and watched, they could tell you what a first-round talent quarterback looks like.
You may be right on that one, but we have enough data that shows that the second player picked at the position
you trust
is
them,
generally
you trust them to get the top 100 right, but not trust them to pick out of those top 100.
I'm saying when you have somebody and you arbitrarily rank them 12th and you arbitrarily rank the other one 16th. Who
says it's arbitrary? You're saying somebody's better than the other.
Because there's a chance, there's an equal chance that you're wrong in your assessment of what 12 and what 16 is.
No. There's an equal chance when you take the full length of who got like the league and how they pick. Yeah, but that's because there are some teams that are bad at it and other teams that are good at it.
Okay.
So that's not 50% at that point if you're talking about specific teams. Number 27 is where Keldrick Falk comes in as the edge rusher from Auburn. So you have him getting picked 7 spots higher, or as Chop would say, exactly the same as where he should go because it's a coin flip and it doesn't really matter. He says Falk is a versatile defensive lineman with an ideal frame and length. He lined up and down the front in Auburn's scheme. He lacks ideal twitch and explosion, but he's a very loose, fluid mover as a pass rusher. He doesn't have elite get-off, but still finds ways to win with a swooping arm over or steady pocket push. But that doesn't exactly sound like somebody you want to spend your first-round pick on, does it? Somebody who you're like, yeah, he's not really twitchy, he's not really fluid, but I mean, he works, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's the setup that you got from
down to get all second and third rounders this year.
Yeah, and then just throw a dart at the dartboard to pick your players because it doesn't matter. It's 50%. Right. Stephen Jones spoke at the Senior Bowl this week with DallasCowboys.com. He was asked what stood out about Christian Parker. He said, start with Coach Schottenheimer, and he has a vision for the type of defense he wanted to have that complements what we do on offense. At the end of the day, the end of the day, we got to get the Stevenism in there. It was Christian's vision, not only for the type of defense he wants to play in terms of the personality it's going to have and the type of culture he wants to create over on that side of the ball, but also the wrinkles that he could bring that really would fit the pieces that we have in place. DallasCowboys.com writes that the next step for Parker and the Cowboys is filling out the rest of his defensive staff. They've already interviewed several candidates virtually and will begin in-person interviews this week. The latest on George Pickens' future, he says, we won't get into any details right now. Certainly want George to be back here in Dallas, and we'll certainly go from there. And then Nick Sorensen, as you had mentioned yesterday, returning as the special teams coordinator, and that they've begun discussions with Javonte Williams, who seems to be a bigger priority for them right now in terms of actively what they think they can get done immediately than George Pickens.
Got a couple, two more clips of Christian Parker from the Eagles pod at the Super Bowl. Do you want the way he motivates or the way he gets depth to step up?
Motivates.
Let's get to how he did it with Darius Slay.
Yeah, I mean, the backstory behind it was just, Slay's 34 years old, and, when you get older guys, sometimes they tail off at the end of the year. Obviously, he's at near the end of his career, and so just really just challenging him in a nonverbal way. I say it all the time to him. He responds to that. He works tirelessly anyway, so it's kind of just to poke at him a little bit, but just to give him a visual reminder of, how much do we have. Same thing with the safeties. I put, microscopes in their office, in their lockers early in the year about, seeing a little and seeing a lot, make sure our vision is correct. Or it might be earplugs for a guy to drown out the noise or whatever. There are a couple of things I won't share here, but there's different ways you try to motivate guys, whether it's in person, individually, in front of the whole group, to challenge them in front of their teammates so they know that they're responsible for something to happen, or something in their locker, or a video you sent, whatever, but you're always trying to find creative ways to kind of keep those wheels spinning.
For Darius Slay, it was the gas can. And how much fuel do you have left? All coaches do this. What?
Yeah, I'm going to need a different defensive coordinator.
You rolling your eyes?
Dude, the earplugs, get it? You're blocking out the noise.
Yeah.
I put these earplugs in here so you know to block. I get it. All coaches do it. That more says I don't want that player. If earplugs motivates you, I don't want that player on defense. I want the guy who just plays good football at that point.
There's a lot of players who get motivated by noise.
I know, it's just so corny. It's so corny. I can't. It's cringy. This
Football
is why
players
I
react
could
to
never,
that, though.
This is why I could never coach, because it does require you to be a little cringy, and I couldn't stand doing it. It would make me too uncomfortable.
Athletes, they do react to this stuff because it's like they have to deal in the absolute process of things.